Staying in touch with your community through local news and information is the gift that keeps giving all year long. Subscribe to the Duluth News Tribune now and get 50% off an annual subscription for you or anyone on your list. Just call 833-248-7801. That's 833-248-7801.
Hello Northlanders, it's Thursday, December 29th. I'm Wyatt Buckner with your Duluth News Tribune Minute, presented by Minnesota Power Employees Credit Union.
The average MPECU member saves over $785 a year in better rates and lower fees. And with MPECU, every ATM is your ATM. With their free checking program, you get ATM fee reimbursements at any ATM anywhere in the U.S. Check out Minnesota Power Employees Credit Union services online at mpecu.com or visit their offices in downtown Duluth, Arrowhead Road, or Miller Trunk Highway.
Now, here's a look at today's headlines. A Chisholm man who admitted to fatally shooting an Aurora man along the Mesabi Trail in Hibbing nearly 4 years ago can withdraw his guilty plea and proceed to trial on murder charges, the Minnesota Supreme Court ruled Wednesday. The High Court reversed Deshaun Israel Bonnell's first-degree murder conviction in the January 2019 slaying of 33-year-old Joshua Robert LaValle. Bonnell, now 22, has been serving an automatic life sentence, with the possibility of parole after 30 years, after pleading guilty that same year to intentionally killing LaValle while committing robbery. But the Supreme Court unanimously found that the plea was inaccurate and would amount to a, quote, manifest injustice, end quote, if allowed to stand. Granting Bonnell's appeal, the justices said the record did not show that the robbery and murder were part of, quote, one continuous transaction, end quote. Associate Justice Paul Thyssen said there is no evidence that LaValle was killed for any reason related to the robbery. The decision voids a plea agreement and sends the case back to Judge Rachel Sullivan in Hibbing for trial on 5 charges. But it does not ensure a better outcome for the defendant, as he now faces up to life imprisonment without the possibility of parole if convicted of the top offense, premeditated first-degree murder. Bonnell was hesitant to provide details about the crime when he struck a deal with the St. Louis County Attorney's Office in September 2019 to maintain some possibility of eventual release from prison. He did admit to shooting LaValle twice in the face, but refused to identify his accomplices and said he either would not or could not recount certain events. 2 co-defendants testified in their own plea hearings that Bonnell carried a gun and talked of a plan to kill LaValle in retaliation for his alleged advances toward Bonnell's girlfriend, Bailey Bodell French, then 17. Authorities said Bonnell, French, and a friend, Anthony Emerson Housen, spent the day with LaValle on January 5th, before driving the victim's roommate's car to the Kerr area on the western side of Hibbing early January 6th. LaValle's body was discovered by a snowmobiler a few hours after he was killed. He had no wallet or identification, so investigators had to use fingerprints to identify the body. Family and friends learned of his death on what would have been LaValle's 34th birthday. Housen, 24, is serving a 25.5-year sentence after pleading guilty to aiding and abetting intentional second-degree murder. French, 21, is serving 37 3/4 years after pleading guilty to intentional second-degree murder and kidnapping. Bonnell will now face his original charges: premeditated first-degree murder while committing kidnapping, aiding and abetting intentional second-degree murder, kidnapping, and aggravated first-degree robbery. An estimated 445,000 tons of chloride-containing salt is scattered across Minnesota every year, leaving lakes and ecosystems in a crisis. Salting is a tried-and-true method to keep roadways, sidewalks, and driveways clear of snow and ice. It reduces slips, falls, and vehicle collisions by up to 85%, according to the American Highway Users Alliance. However, the Minnesota Pollution Control Agency is encouraging Minnesotans to do their part this winter by using other tools to get the job done. Salt is commonly over-applied and sends chloride into surface water, lakes, rivers, and streams. It only takes 1 teaspoon of salt to permanently pollute 5 gallons of water, the agency said. According to MnDOT's website, snowplow operators attempt to apply only the amount of salt required depending on a slew of variables such as the current temperature, wind conditions, and pavement type. Using too much salt is a waste of money and resources, but using too little will cause the roadway to refreeze. The MPCA offers training for winter maintenance professionals, property managers, and others interested in providing safe services in winter and minimizing harmful environmental impacts. Now here's a look at your forecast, brought by the Women Today 6th Annual Rosie Awards.
Happy Thursday, Duluth area. Cloudy skies today with a brief wintry mix. Likely there will be a chance for some patchy fog as well, with temperatures hovering just above the freezing mark, right around 34 degrees. Relatively light winds expected, should be variable as well. That will transition over to some snow overnight tonight. Generally less than an inch of snow accumulation as we head into your Friday. Skies will start to clear, mostly sunny and breezy by the end of the day, with a high of 20, close to 30 on New Year's Eve and New Year's Day. I'm Storm Tracker meteorologist Jesse Ritka.
Thank you to the Rosie Awards for their support. Northland women are a driving force in our community. They are advocates, mentors, volunteers, and leaders. Nominate a special woman you think deserves to be recognized at thewomantoday.com or by email at dearrosie@thewomantoday.com. Nominations are now open and continue through January 31st. Reporting for today's episode was done by Tom Olson and Maggie Fellerman. Thank you for listening to Duluth News Tribune Minute. Have a great day, and we'll see you back here tomorrow.